gentlemen, it's a sad story, but this is a reality. It's the hypocrisy of the entire India alliance. You know, on a day you will have Priyanka Gandhi walking into the parliament with a bag because she wants to display her solidarity for Palestine. But then, when it comes to terrorists, they do not even want to call them terrorists. What is worse is these images that you will see on your screens. Terrorist, murderer, and a man convicted for masterminding blast that took away not one, not two, 58 lives. 58 innocent lives in the year 1998 in Coimbatore. Now, the man that we are talking about, the terrorist that we are talking about is Syed Ahmed Basha. He was serving a time in prison, he was out on parole, and he dies because of illness. But just one look at these images will just make you ask so many questions today. Is this Bharat? Is this happening in our own country, or is this Pakistan, where you have terrorists now being eulogized, terrorists being called as martyrs? Now, you might think that these are tributes being paid to some great son of the soil, but that clearly is not the case. The mastermind of the deadly Coimbatore blast that claimed lives of 58 innocent people is given a hero send-off. He is called a martyr. What is worse is that you have more than 2,000 plus police personnel who are deployed for the bandobast, for the funeral of the man who could have possibly ended up destroying more lives if his mission had succeeded. Just imagine the aftermath if he had indeed succeeded in his real aim. Do you know what the real aim was? To eliminate Lal Krishna Advani. He at that point was holding a rally in Coimbatore at that time, and what's even more worrying now is this entire subterfuge that has come in from the India alliance. Political leaders right now from the entire opposition bloc are literally falling over each other because they want to eulogize him, because he represents a vote bank, he represents a sentiment. It's all about votes. It's not about Bharat. It's not about the country first. There are some who call him a protector of Muslims, who lived his life with courage. He was imprisoned for protecting interest of Muslims, is what they say. Now, these are exact words that have come in from the VCK chief. Now, what is the VCK? It is a crucial ally of the ruling DMK in Tamil Nadu, the same DMK that is working with Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi right now in Tamil Nadu. The same people who say this is a mohabbat ki dukaan. Is this their secularism? Is this that sectarian politics that has just divided all of us as a country? They want to divide Bharat? Is this how their heart is bleeding for terrorists? You've not had a single leader coming in from the India bloc that sees anything wrong in this almost state-sponsored funeral service for a traitor of the highest order. In fact, there is a pattern to this. Why we say this? Because you would recall earlier it was Priyanka Gandhi who goes into the parliament, she's talking of the Philistine bag. Then when she's forced, she talks about the Hindus. The Hindus. She mentions the word Hindus. But then the India bloc leaders, time and again, remember, have shed tears for people like Burhan Bani, people like Afzal Guru, people like Yaqub Memon. So has eulogizing terrorists become just this new trend for the India bloc?
It only shows to what level DMK government is involved in minority appeasement. That not only do we condemn it, but also we feel very bad the state of law and order in Tamil Nadu, what is happening in Coimbatore. Coimbatore BJP unit on coming Friday, they will observe a black day.
BJP will talk any nonsense. For a funeral procession, how can stop a funeral procession? It's a dead man, and his followers and his friends, his family members are going to meet him.
देखिए, बीजेपी बदकिस्मती से कहाँ ले जा रही है? हर चीज़ के ऊपर पॉलिटिक्स कर रही है, और एक आदमी अगर वो कन्विक्ट था और उसके बाद उसकी डेथ हो गई, उसका फ्यूनरल निकालने में हर्ज क्या है?
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for a moment, if you look at all these images that have played out on our screens, it's hard to believe that this is happening in our own Bharat, and this is not Pakistan. I was, struggling to believe, Pradeep, that this is happening in today's day and time. As I say, good evening to you. You represent the BJP on the show. Ishkaran Bhandari is an advocate. Harish Mohammad Ibrahim is a political analyst. He does lean towards the DMK. Do remember, it's the DMK. VCK is the ally. VCK says there is nothing wrong with these pictures, nothing wrong with the kind of, final rites that have been conducted, and they say this is okay. Sheikh Amir is representing the Congress. Asghar Khan is a senior advocate also on the show. But Harish, let's begin by asking you that hero's funeral for an Islamist terrorist. Is this Bharat or is this Pakistan?
First of all, anyone, even for the worst among the worst terrorists, whomever it may be, the final rights, it's a basic right, even as per the Indian Constitution. And the government has nothing to do with it. Even he is on the parole, even he is an extremist. We don't deny that. And it is a basic right for the one who deceased. And whether he is an Islamic terrorist or whether it is Hindutva terrorist.
See, that's the problem, Harish. Harish, exactly.
Human rights,
you know, I have not even touched that issue, but you've made that equivalence already. Whether this is an Islamic terrorist or a Hindutva terrorist, can you name
100%.
the last Hindutva terrorist that we've all known and perhaps whose journey was celebrated like he's a martyr?
We know even who's the convicted MP inside the parliament. We know. I don't want to name them. We know. The entire Indians know. We don't want to go ahead to that narration. That is what I am bringing to your notice.
No, let's call a spade a spade. Let's call a spade a spade, Harish. I see both Pradeep and Ishkaran wanting to jump in right here at the beginning of the debate. Why don't you name Hindutva terrorists? Why don't you name them?
No, I don't want. I don't want to.
He doesn't want to, Pradeep.
Equivalence here.
Pradeep, he does not want to. But what is the problem? You know, instead of dealing with the elephant in the room, he's telling you there are Hindutva terrorists. And we must be fair to everyone.
That is. No. You are.
Well, Deepti,
okay, Pradeep will go in.
The tragedy of this country is that these mainstream political parties are backing terrorists for their vote bank. This terrorist mastermind, Basha, who was responsible for killing 58 innocent Indians, this man was given parole. The state did not object. Flashback to 2009, 8 to 9 convicts of the same bomb blast were set free by the same DMK government. This is the same, and in 2022 in Coimbatore a blast happened. The DMK has always been soft on terror, whether it is from 1989 LTT till now. On your show, this individual who's representing DMK cannot call Basha a terrorist. He was calling him an extremist. And immediately, in a moment, he started to speak about Hindu terror. I object. Name the Hindutva terrorist if you want to. There is no Hindu terror or Muslim terror. Terror is a terrorist. You look at the religion of the terrorist and you back the terrorist based on your vote bank.
Harish, I will give you another 10 seconds to... Yes, I will give you 10 seconds to respond to that question.
As if they were celebrating.
Before I get an Ishkaran, another gentleman. Tell me, Harish.
No, as I said categorically, the government has nothing to do with any kind of terrorism, whether it may be from the Islamic religion or any...
Is the government sleeping? Is the government not aware of what's going on? Is the government not aware of the sensitivities involved? Is the government not aware of the charges against this man?
No. No, one second. Extremist is an extremist, and we have to give whoever it may
Who's
be
an
the
extremist?
last deceased has to give the basic
He is a terrorist, period. He was a terrorist.
Madam, so what we have to do for a terrorist, you shouldn't conduct a last rites. That is what you are advocating.
You should celebrate him like a martyr. Is he a martyr?
What
the
does the
VCK is
government
calling
has
him
to
a
do with
martyr.
that?
Tell me, has the VCK not called him a martyr?
Whether the government, that you have to bring down the VCK spokesperson and ask to him. That is not our problem to deal with it.
No, what do you mean? This is not our problem to deal with it. I don't understand. Afzal Guru's hanging was wrong. Is what the Congress itself said, Ishkaran, you would recall. Omar Abdullah, the former, who's also the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, has also spoken about Afzal Guru, whether it is a P. Chidambaram, everyone else, Mehbooba Mufti. I mean, there is a list of such people, Ishkaran. Isn't this sedition now? Isn't this sedition? Why should we not deal with this differently?
Reminds me of Burhan Wani.
Yes, Burhan Wani, of course, Ishkaran.
Deepti ji, it's a question to me if you can tell the person to... If you can, it's a question to me if you can tell the person not to heckle or interrupt. Yes, thank you. So first a fact check. There is no convicted Hindu terrorist in the parliament, as has been said, for a simple reason. If they understood the democracy or read the laws, anybody convicted and having more than 2 years, which in a terror case would be, cannot even contest election. So fact-free debates on national television should not be allowed. let's stick to the topic now. This is the unfortunate reality. Nations glorify their armed forces, protect the common citizens, and punish terrorists. Unfortunately, there is this huge ecosystem in India which consists of certain bureaucrats, often media, and politicians who glorify the terrorist. Batla's encounter, a top leader gets tears in the eyes, not for the brave police officer Mohan Chand Sharma ji who attains Veer Gati, but for a terrorist, and union ministers are proudly talking about it. Or you have ecosystem which says Burhan Wani is the school teachers killed a young man.
Correct.
Or you have headlines in media which say they hand Yaqub Menon. They means some other nation, Pakistan did it. Indian system did it. Our court was prosecuted in the court. Judiciary gave the punishment. All calling Afzal Guru as judicial killing. So this entire ecosystem where you start glorifying the terrorist. Maybe a terrorist has a right to final rights of a particular sort. Some nations don't even give that. They dump you in the ocean. So that's also a debatable topic. And those are democracies only. But glorification, huge processions, allowing permission to lakhs of people to gather, which we used to often see happening, all that is worrisome, and the nation sees it. And people who come on television to defend it for their petty vote bank politics are doing a great disservice to our nation.
Absolutely. And you know, though Harish continues to say we have nothing to do with it, what the government can do, but Ishkaran and Pradeep, you know, this is just for information that you had more than 2,000 security personnel. Can we believe this? I mean, this is happening in today's day and time. Before I get in Asghar Khanji, I also want to get in Amir, who represents the Congress. Amir, where is Priyanka Gandhi today? Where is Rahul Gandhi? Why are they quiet on this? Why are they silent? Philistine ka bag leti hai Priyanka Gandhi. Then she is forced to take and speak about the Bangladeshi Hindus. But this is the vote bank, and that is why leaders like Priyanka and Rahul are still quiet, Amir.
Yes, listen. Let me speak uninterrupted so that there is a clear pattern of selective outrage based on political and communal lines. When you talk about this funeral was taken out, was this by a government? No, it was not by a government. And why this? I feel like I'm watching. You are taking me back to 1940s, watching a German news channel, which is there to talk about only Hitler and fascism, only defending Hitler. Can you tell me if you talk about? Let me give you an example. When Jayant Sinha he garlanded 8 men who were accused of lynching Alimuddin. They were
relax. You've already exposed where your heart is lying. No,
when you say
Amir, there is a problem. You call out the media for all that I care. You hate the media because the media is asking you uncomfortable questions. But today, tell me, where is Priyanka Gandhi and a solidarity today? Where is the solidarity?
You are talking about Priyanka Gandhi. You are not letting me talk. You are bringing in Priyanka Gandhi.
Why not? Are you supporting the DMK government in Tamil Nadu or not? Is MK Stalin a part of the India Alliance or not?
Pragya Thakur calls Godse as patriot, and what Narendra Modi says, मैं उसको माफ नहीं करूँगा.
Are you saying there is no difference between S.A. Basha and Pragya Thakur? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? I'm asking you very responsibly. Is that what you're saying, Amir?
What?
There is no difference between Pragya Thakur and S.A. Basha. Is that what you're saying?
There is a difference, I will tell you.
Then?
There is a funeral. It's a religious duty. It was not done by government, unlike what BJP people...
Who provided these 2,000 plus security personnel? How is the VCK calling him a martyr and the DMK is quiet? Rahul Gandhi is quiet. Priyanka is quiet. Can you tell me?
We are there to answer you. You will say, we'll speak. Who is quiet, who has to speak and who has not to speak. You will choose the topics and start debating.
Obviously, like Priyanka Gandhi is choosing to speak about Philistine. Congress leaders want to speak about a Yaqub Memon. Congress leaders want to speak about an Afzal Guru. But they do not want to speak about anyone else. Not even the Hindus in Bangladesh, no?
But you will not speak about the people who are accused in Bilkis Bano case and they were prematurely released and been garlanded and...
What a shame. What a shame if we've really come down to this, you know. I mean, it's just about a few votes. But Asghar Khanji, what is your position? What is your position, Asghar Khanji?
Somebody talks of Hindu terrorism, you get infuriated.
Are you repeating what Harish said? Hindu terror again? Are you putting out that bogey again about the Hindu terror?
If you say Islamic terror, there's Hindu terror as well.
No, is this not Islamic terror then? No. What is the problem in accepting what is written? What is written which is an accepted fact, Amir?
Now, what the BJP spokesperson said, terror is a terror, okay, I agree. But when you say...
So why are you making this about Hindu terror?
Terrorism, when you say Islamic terrorism, somebody on your debate says Hindu terrorism, and you get so infuriated, you get angry, but somebody says Hindu terror.
You don't get infuriated when someone will just label a community as a terrorist? You don't?
Somebody performing, see, terrorism is terrorism. Somebody performing last
Yeah, because the Congress only coined saffron terror, right? The Congress only coined saffron terror.
No, you are only concerned with saffron. I am concerned with my country. You are only concerned with this.
Really? That is why Priyanka is quiet. Sheikh Hamid ji comes in before Pradeep and Ishkaran jump back into this. Sheikh Hamid ji. Asghar Khan also.
Yes. See, I say when
yes, Asghar Khan ji.
Terrorism have no religion. Neither Islamic terrorism nor Hindu terrorism. Terrorism is terrorism. Number one. Number two, I fail to understand where is the wrong. When a person, whether he was terrorist or he was a layman or a leader or a powerful or non-powerful man, he was at the last right. And there is a provision.
Asghar Khan ji, with all due respect, sir, do you know what is the charge against him? You're aware of the charges?
And if keeping in view the situation of law and order, if they deployed some police officers or the people's join the procession, where is the wrong? This was the last right. Funeral ceremony. If the people's joined it, whether they were the leader or they were the other people's normal citizen, then where is the wrong? I fail to understand.
You obviously fail to understand, much like the DMK, much like the Congress, because there is a problem. See, the story is largely skewed because, you know, this is the real secularism. No, Harish. This is the Mohabbat ki dukaan. This is exactly that sectarian politics that has divided the country for the longest time, Harish.
Honorable Court has passed the order.
Harish.
No. No, you are infuriating only when you hear the particular religious name. But we are infuriating for the entire country. We are clear with our stand.
We are part of the same country, Harish, just in case you don't know. We are all a part of the same country. It is about the country coming first, not a terrorist, please, for God's sake.
Ask me a query. Of course, that is the stand we are taking. There is no power of any religion is associated with any kind of extremist activities. We are clear with that. And the government has no action or no point of dealing with any kind of individuals going on for a disease of a last rites procession. Where does the government role is to be played over there? And the government is protecting, as the Coimbatore is a most sensitive area, the government is giving the protections where it doesn't have to have any ramification, where create a law and order problem. Where does the problem arise for you now?
Now,
it doesn't
do you know, Harish?
Harish,
I'll ask you again the same question. Do you know the sections against S.A. Basha, the terrorist? Will you call him a terrorist?
I know. He's an extremist.
What is this thing about, you know, Pradeep, not being able to call him a terrorist? I don't understand, Ishkaran. Extremist. What is your Pradeep?
What is there not?
Deepti.
Yes, Pradeep.
Deepti, it is not just Deepti, it is just not unfortunate. I believe it is anti-national in character that your TNK spokesperson is not able to call the mastermind of 1998 terror blast case, which has killed innocent civilians, 58 innocent civilians, as terrorists. He's calling and using a word extremist. But he did not hesitate to label the Hindu community as a terrorist. You know, who is this individual, this terrorist Basha? A man from whom 545 bombs are found, a man from whom 210 gelatin sticks are found, a man who's been responsible
Pradeep, I will say one thing, you need to act. And though Harish is not the official spokesperson of the DMK, but he is batting for them tonight. No, Pradeep, but then you need to act. Because all this is happening in Bharat. You cannot have constituencies who believe that they are law unto themselves. They are behaving like Pakistan. No, Pradeep, you need to act. You need to act against all of them.
No, we will, but we will definitely, we will. But the point is that the state government is eulogizing it. If you look at it, it's not the funeral. It is about celebrating a janaza with 2,000 security forces applying their state machinery. And what is this mindset to have a janaza for a terrorist? It is the same mindset which had a janaza for a Yaqub Menon, which had a janaza for a Burhanwani. And why was the state allowed it? That is my premise charge. And on the national television, the DMK spokesperson is labeling the Hindu community as terrorists, but could not call the convicted mastermind of 1998 terror blast as terrorist.
That is the point. And viewers are seeing through this hypocrisy. I'll just give Ishkaran the last word. Ishkaran, can something be done legally? You know, ultimately, these are state governments who are cocking a snook at us. At people who are living in Bharat. Because if you're living in Tamil Nadu, this is normal for them.
No. What about state governments on this debate? A person convicted by our courts for 58 people being killed in a terror blast case is not being called terrorist. So you are seeing how deep and how openly the support is running on national television. People don't want to call him a terrorist. And that is why, if it's for security agencies to take a very serious view of this, we cannot have this glorification of convicted terrorists, be it in media or be it in the garb of free speech, or be it by people by allowing such grand celebrations to occur. So that is something definitely the government in power has to look into.
But will they do that or not? I do not know, but I'm still very, very curious. You know, Sheikh Hamirji, though you could not tell me why is Priyanka quiet. She roams around with bags of Philistine, later of Bangladeshi Hindus, but her heart continues to bleed for terrorists. That is a real problem, and she needs to really correct that perception. I'm thanking all gentlemen with just a hope that at least we'll be able to call terrorists for what they are, terrorists. Thank you so much.